So thank you everyone, and I request all of you to please come on cameras. And there is a reason. There is a reason why I want all of you to be on cameras. Just answer one query that I have. Do you people want to know only the theoretical concepts in the academic terms, or in addition to that competence, you also wants to have the competence to actually successfully implement these concepts on the shop floor? Please tell me. Do you want only the theoretical knowledge or both of them? Theoretical as well as competence to implement the concepts on the shop floor.
Definitely, it's both, sir. Only the theoretical knowledge will not do anything.
Perfect. So that's excellent. So I welcome Sampatji, Paras, Mani, Vannam, Aditya, Nitish, Vignesh, Parimala, Yuvaraj, Prasanna, please come on screen because I will make sure that all of you become not only the world's best in understanding the concept, but also world's best in implementing these concepts on the shop floor. Why I am so confident? I am so confident because I can see that all of you are coming from various different industry verticals. You have got your own experiences. You are practicing professionals. And in these sessions that we are going to have, we will be making a very interactive learning. Everyone will learn from each other. I will welcome, rather, I request you people to intervene as many times as you wish. Ask your doubts, give examples. If you agree, you have got some examples that really relate with the topic that we are discussing. And my dear friends, with the collective knowledge, with the collective experience, with the collective collaboration of all of us, I am more than 100% sure that we will create a team of excellent academicians, consultants, and implement experts. My dear friends, I will start with Natarajan ji's query. And he really mentioned, and that is a very important point for all of us consultants, that is a challenge, that as soon as we start our improvement initiatives, the managements, the people who are really starting to, let us say, benefit from our endeavors, they want immediate results. They want it to happen like magic. And I can assure you that magic. Aren't you happy of that? I am assured that I will make you competent in creating that magic. Then within first 2 3 months, you will demonstrate successfully that improvements are happening. One of the very important tool for that is 5S. That is also we are going to learn today. Another very important tool are visual demonstrations, displaying of our initiatives, performance monitoring, everything on the shop floor. So we will not only learn how to successfully implement improvement initiatives, but it is also imperative that we must learn how to demonstrate and to convince everyone that these concepts that we are implementing are beneficial. My dear friends, that is one very significant difference between Lean and Six Sigma. I want all of you to be very, very attentive and please share your really agreement or disagreement. Whatever you have. If you agree with me, show me a thumbs up. If you're not agreeing with me, you can show me a thumbs down. Okay. So what really happens in Lean? That Lean primarily focuses with involvement of everyone. Can you see that? As against Six Sigma, I can see some of you are having good exposure to both these concepts, Lean as well as Six Sigma. Six Sigma is a highly disciplined, data driven approach which uses lots and lots of statistical tools. There are situations where Six Sigma will be very, very useful, but please note that Six Sigma initiatives are primarily driven by super experts who know statistics very well, who know the DMAIC approach very well, who can do design of experiments and statistical testing and all those concepts. But lean is something where everyone is involved. We are not really, Sampaji, dependent on only a couple of super experts, right? And please, I want to be very clear that I'm not really saying that lean is better or Six Sigma is better, nothing like that. They both the approaches are suitable for different type of problems or different types of improvement opportunities. In these sessions, I will be using problem and improvement opportunity interchangeably. Do you agree with me? You can call it a problem or we can see that as an improvement opportunity. Who all are agreeable with that? Let us show a thumbs up. Okay, so I will be, if you allow, I will be using this word more frequently. Instead of problem, what I would like to call them, I would like to call them as improvement opportunities. And there are, broadly speaking, two types of improvement opportunities. Certain improvement opportunities are that when you really go to the shop floor, make a very keen observation, involve everyone who is working on the shop floor into identifying the problems, into finding the possible causes, into finding the possible solutions, then experimenting on the shop floor and finding out the best way out. That is the approach of lean, right? And the approach of Six Sigma, that is also very useful because there can be certain situations which are way more complicated, way more complex. We cannot find in those type of situations that what exactly the root cause or what exactly are going to be the possible solutions. So depending on the nature of the problem, we will select whether we are going with the approach of lean, or we are going with the approach of Six Sigma, or we are going with the combination of lean and Six Sigma. Everyone clear about that? Show me a thumbs up. Perfect. So, as we have been discussing in past couple of minutes, that yes, Vigneshji, please add. Vigneshji, you want to add something? Yes.
My mistakes, sir. There is a thumbs up. But not like a hand raise.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Why don't you please come on camera? Your this pictorial is looking very good, and you are even more impressive in person. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So, my dear friends, lean says that we must go to Gemba and we must involve everyone. And therefore, as you can see, that lean approach, this started from Japan. Originally, the concept was Toyota Production System, from which later it was adopted as lean. I will explain all these concepts, but the point is that the lean says that it is more about doing real things on real shop floors involving real people. Can you see that? And I have seen it working perfectly well for my own consulting projects. As probably you are aware, I am a practicing consultant and my bread and butter mostly comes from my lean implementation projects. I am busy 6 days a week, 7 days a week at times in lean implementation projects in various different industries. And I can make demonstrable, and all of you will be able to make that demonstrable improvements in first 2 months of the project initiation using the tool of primarily 5S, which immediately creates a improved shop floor, using the tools of creating visual workplace where all the initiatives that you are doing are demonstrated on the shop floor, creating a competent team, starting with training of 7QC tools and all to everyone so that everyone comes on board. All the people, your operators, your quality checkers, your supervisors, your managers, your designers, even your finance persons, your ERP people, all of them become part of your team. And can you now visualize, Sampatji, Shova, Parimala,
Yeah.
Aditya, that when you are involving everyone, you are making them competent, you are training them on 7QC tools, you are training them how to identify problems, you are training them how to find out the root causes, and you are demonstrating everything on the shop floor. Then the culture of Kaizen, that is small improvements start. And when you really start implementing those kaizens, those are coming from the very people. Can you see that? Let us just assume that all of us are working in a particular organization. Then Aditya Raju gives an idea, we implement it, and we publicly acknowledge Aditya Raju, and we demonstrated, okay, this was the situation before, this is the situation after. Aditya Raju ji has given this particular idea, and this is really show kept on. This becomes a writing on the wall. Can you see that? Then the next day, Parimala ma'am will give some idea. We'll appreciate her, we will implement that concept, we will congratulate her, and that will again go as a poster. Slowly, all the team members will become more and more competent. Your initiatives will be displayed on the shop floor, and using the tool of 5S, you will create a safe, more comfortable to work, and visibly better shop floor. Can all of you see that? And you see, for this exactly is the approach with which I will be covering the whole session today. For being able to identify that where shall we be improving, we must know what is wrong with the organization, right? We shall know how to identify the wastes. We will be discussing what are the wastes. We will be having a look at the 3M. It is not only, my dear friends, it is not only about the waste. It is basically about 3M, which is wasteful activities. There are three types of wasteful activities. We'll be having a look at all of them. Waste is only one of the wasteful activities. So I think you, everyone, Paras, Shova, Vignesh, Prasanna, Varun, Siva, Money, or if you are now convinced that you can really break this barrier of convincing people, bringing them on board, making them part of your team, and creating a visibly improved shop floor within first 2 months. Yes, and that really creates magic. Please see that in the first 1 month, in the first 2 months, you are able to demonstrate that shop floor is now looking much better. Shop floor is now much more efficient. Inventory is controlled. People are thinking about solutions, and people are being acknowledged, appreciated. Can you see magic being created in the shop floor? And from there, you start your journey of creating breakthrough improvements in the organization. So, with that opening really discussion, let us have a deep look at. Let me share a screen with you. I would like to. Yes, okay. Perfect. And as I mentioned, I really welcome your interventions. I want you people to ask questions. I want you people to give really examples. And if you are agreeing with me, show me a thumbs up. Not agreeing with me, show me a thumbs down, and really challenge me with your, because that only will be making it useful for all of us, right? Because as I mentioned, so many competent people are here, and I want to make sure that we utilize the knowledge and competence of each and everyone. So, my dear friends, let us understand the lean methodology for achieving operational excellence. What do we really mean by operational excellence? This term is often misunderstood. It is too hyped. Operational excellence is basically being excellent in your day-to-day activities. Operations are nothing but Natarajanji, Sampath Bhai, Paras. They are nothing but operations are nothing but our day-to-day activities. What everyone in my organization does on a day-to-day basis, that is operations. Yes or no? Show me a thumbs up. That exactly the operation. And if these operations we are able to achieve excellence, then we will definitely be best in class. We will be ahead of our competition. We will be having a highest possibility of satisfying our customers. Yes, so whenever we say operational excellence, please be very clear. Operations are nothing but our day to day activities, what everyone does, and they have to be excellent. So, in this session today, let us have a look what we are going to discuss. I will be discussing the relationship between lean and TPS. TPS, by the way, is Toyota Production System. We'll learn to differentiate between value adding and non value adding activities. Probably that topic has been discussed by GSK yesterday. Everyone clear about that? What are the value adding activities and what are the non value adding activities? I hope that was discussed by Dr. GSK yesterday. Then we'll be having a look at 3M and 7 wastes. I will also explain that what do we really mean by value. Just a quick overview of value stream mapping, and that is where we start to learn to see what is bothering the operations, what is bothering the process, where are the improvement opportunities, where are the bottlenecks, where are the pain points. And then we will also make sure that we learn managing to learn, because lean says that this is about a learning organizations. What typically happens, Sampathji, Natarajanji, that in a typical MSME organization there are problems. We go and we find out solutions. That problem is solved, let's say, on that one particular instance. But after 2 months, 3 months, the problem will resurface. Reason being, that problem that was solved on that one particular instance was not really converted into the standard operating procedure. Probably since the organization doesn't has the culture of having a standard operating procedures. So maybe there was one problem which was solved by, let us say, Sampathananji. But let us say then Sampathananji gets transferred to another department and Vivek Kumar takes over this department. Now I do not know what solution was so painstakingly identified by Sampathananji. So we must create a culture in lean where whatever we have learned becomes part and parcel of knowledge bank of the organization. Can you see that? And for that we will have to have standard operating procedures, and we will have to have a culture where everyone really learns and the learnings become part of the learning, that is the insights that we have got into the process, the better processes that we have identified, that shall become part and parcel of the day-to-day working of the organization. Hope all of you are agreeable with that. And that exactly is the challenge. We solve problems and we forget what were the solutions. Organizations typically are not able to sustain. So lean says, and very importantly, lean says that lean management is a management which says that we must learn, and learning become internalized. So everyone in the organization must learn what are the 7 wastes, what are the 7 QC tools, what are the 3M, what is Hoshinkanri, what is A3. There are so many tools that we'll be discussing. So that is mostly about learning throughout the organization. So my dear friends, who can read this out? What is there on your screen? Who uses lean?
Lean is used by businesses, organizations who want to increase the profitability and to sustain their success by achieving operational excellence.
Yes. Thank you very much, Natarajanji. So can you see my emphasis on two words? To increase their profitability and to sustain their success. Can you see? These are two very important things. Increase their profitability is that you want to find better ways of doing things. You want to improve better processes. Parimal, Vignesh, Shova ma'am, can you see that? That is part one. The first part. We want to increase our profitability and we want to sustain that. How this sustainment will happen? When those learnings become part and parcel of your day-to-day activities. How that can be done? By making everyone more and more competent, by making everyone more and more involved, and by creating standard operating processes of continual improvements. So it is not only about achieving success one time or finding a solution one time. It is about finding a solution and to sustain that solution into the organization. Aditya, Sakti, can you see that? Typically, that exactly is what the challenge happens to be. We are, let us say we implement a particular uh, initiative of 5S, but that really doesn't remain sustained. Yes, so please note that our emphasis will always be not only on finding the solutions but also finding the base by which those improvements shall be sustained. And that is, my dear friends, the only way of sustaining the success of the organizations. Show me a thumbs up if you are clear. Show me a thumbs up. Now, I want to give you a one sentence definition of lean. And Parimala, can you read this out? What is the one sentence definition of lean? The first sentence is here.
Lean is doing more while consuming less.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Lean is doing more while consuming less. Very simple, to the point definition. What does that mean? Please elaborate. This is now the next sentence is the elaboration of the same Guru Mantra that Parimala ma'am has just given us. Lean is doing more while consuming less. Shiva ma'am, can you please elaborate the meaning of this sentence which is there in the second sentence?
And lean is providing more and more of what the customer wants while consuming less and less of resources.
Excellent. So just as Parimala ma'am has said, lean is doing more while consuming less. What does that really mean? Lean is providing more and more and more and more of what the customer wants while consuming less and less and less and less and less and less of resources. Yes, you want to summarize these into two words: creating value and eliminating waste. Now, can you see the meaning of these two words? Very popular with lean methodology. Now, from this moment onwards, if anyone asks what is lean, you can say that lean is doing more while consuming less. And you understand the meaning of that. What are you going to do more? Are you going to really doing more is are you going to sleep more? Are you going to see, let us say, more IPL? No. When we say doing more, what that means is providing more and more of what the customer wants. This is called, Mani bhai, value creation while consuming less and less of resources, and this is called waste elimination. So two cornerstones of lean. What are those? Money? Value creation and, can you repeat? Value creation and waste elimination. Please tell everyone. Money. What are the two cornerstones of lean?
Value creation.
Value creation and waste elimination. Everyone is now clear about this? Thank you, Parimala. Thank you, Shova. Thank you very much. So, value creation and waste elimination are the two cornerstones, and we say that our objective is, what our vision is with lean, we want to achieve perfect value with zero waste. That is exactly what Manibhai you have just told. What we want to achieve, perfect value with zero waste. That is what we want to achieve. Now, what is the meaning of value? Perfect value. Value is to see from the perspective of the customer, what the customer wants, what will make the customer happy, what are the needs, expectations, and wants of the customer. Yes or no? That is what the value is. And let us add a couple of examples. The customer wants highest quality. Yes. The customer wants that highest quality at the lowest cost. Yes. And the customer wants that to be delivered at the earliest. That is at the shortest lead time. Yes or no? Sampath, Sivamaniji? Are you clear about that? So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
my dear friends, so this really makes lean such a successful methodology. It starts with very strong customer focus. Can you see that? I want all of you to be very, very attentive and very, very clear about this. It starts with a very strong customer focus. It asks the lean practitioners to continually look at your business from the eyes of the customer and always try to find out what is the value as seen from the eyes of the customer, as perceived by the customer. Those organizations who continually look at their businesses from the perspective of the customer, they also are able to address the various challenges. As against, there have been some methodologies, for example, and I do not really like to criticize Six Sigma for that matter, but I often have debates with some Six Sigma consultants. So the primarily the Six Sigma's focus is on solving a particular problem or improving your processes. So typically what really Six Sigma does, it keeps improving what you are already doing. Can you see that? Natarajanji, Sampatji, Aditya, Varun, Shivamani, Kamlesh, Bharasji. Six Sigma typically, and typically that is what is happening in most of the organizations also. We want to perfect what we are already doing. But we at times forget that over a period of time, customer expectations might have changed. There are more competitors now in market. So I will give you one simple example. Suppose you are mastering and improving the art of making fossil fuel driven car. You are making better and better petrol and diesel cars. But now a different technology altogether has come to disrupt the market. Electric vehicles. But you are not really looking at from the point of view of the customer. You are just, if you are looking only at improving how to make better and better diesel cars, do you think you will succeed in the long run? No, we will have to see whether the customer, what are the customer expectations, what your competitors are offering, what are the new technologies available, right? So lean is a highly customer focused approach. It continuously looks at value as perceived by the customer. That is one aspect. And then when we do our operations, we want to find out that how we can do that while consuming less and less of resources. resources. That means we are focusing on both being effective and being efficient. These are two words, and we want to be both. We want to be effective. What is the meaning of effective? We are able to meet the customer expectations. Effectiveness is being able to deliver what you are expected to do. Yes or no? That is what effectiveness is. Suppose I ask you, am I an effective teacher? Please tell me, show me a thumbs up. Going by your 30 minutes interaction with me. Because I am able to deliver what I am expected to deliver. That is why I am effective. So effectiveness means you are able to achieve your objectives. That is, you want to provide defect-free products and services. That is effectiveness. Now, efficiency is another aspect of the business, which says that if you are consuming less resources, you are more efficient. Yes or no? Efficiency means you are consuming less resources while providing the best of services. Yes or no? Suppose both of us, let us say Parimala ma'am, let us really take a kind of a role play. Suppose both you and me are manufacturers of shirts. Yes, shirts like this. I supply 100 and our customer is Natarajan sir. Natarajan sir, let us do this role play. Okay, so you have got two vendors, Parimala ma'am and myself. You have placed orders for 100 shirts, and the price of each shirt is also, let us say, 100 rupees. Now Parimala ma'am supplies you 100 shirts. All of them are perfectly okay. I supply you 100 shirts. 98 are okay, 2 are defective. Who is more effective? My question is, who is more effective? You are on mute, Natarajan sir. Please unmute yourself. So your supplier who has
who supplied 100%
yes
quality okay
yes
more effective.
is more effective. That is the meaning of effectiveness. And the second supplier, that is I am Vivek Kumar. I supplied you only 98 good pieces, so I am not effective because I have not delivered what I am expected to. Now, learning from that, there comes second consignment. Okay, in the second consignment, I also give 100 good shirts. Parimala also gives 100 good shirts. Now, both of us are effective. Can you see, Sampathji? Both of us are effective. Now, Parimala cost for manufacturing each shirt was, let's say, rupees 95. I am assuming from this particular situation when both of us are Parimala and myself, both of us are providing 100 good shirts, right? Now the cost of manufacturing for Parimala was rupees 95 per shirt. Selling price is 100, and my cost is rupees 80. Who is more efficient? Yes. So someone who is consuming less resources, that is spending less money while delivering the desired result, is more efficient. Now can you see the difference between effectiveness and efficiency? Yes or no? Prasanna, Shiva, Shakti, show me a thumbs up, everyone.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
the
sir.
idea, when I say that we are focusing on value creation and waste elimination. So value creation is talking of effectiveness. You are able to meet the customer expectations, and waste elimination is talking of efficiency. Sampathji, can you see that? Why I was able to produce
Yeah.
one shirt at rupees 80, at the my cost is 80? Why? I was able to eliminate loss of waste. Yes or no? Wastes are invariably there in all the business operations. It is only that we do not know how to identify wastes. And that is exactly what we are going to learn. So now I want all of you to show me 2 thumbs up. One, that we are working on waste elimination and we are working on value creation.
So your voice is
People, sir.
Okay, I will. Is it okay now? Is it
Yeah.
okay now? Yeah, perfect.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So, my dear friends, we are working on waste elimination and value creation. Therefore, we are working on both. We are working on efficiency as well as effectiveness. Show me a thumbs up if all of us are agreeable with that. Perfect. Excellent. So, how lean transformation helps the organizations become more efficient and effective. We have just discussed. Sampaji, can you read this out? The question is, and the answer is also there, but I want Sampaji to help me with the answer. The question is, how lean transformation helps the organizations become more efficient and effective?
Providing defect-free product and service while consuming less resources.
Yes. So I will just stop you for a minute. Providing defect-free products and services means you are more effective. While consuming less resources means you are more efficient. Can you see that? Aditya, Paras, Siva, Paribala? Everyone can see that? Yes. Now, please go ahead. Sampaji.
Yeah, the organizations perform better consistently on quality, cost, delivery, service, morale, and safety aspects.
Yes. So typically, a performance of an organization is measured on this QCDS, M and S aspects. We have been hearing of that. Yes, Natarajanji? Sampaji? So we were talking
Yeah.
of QCDS earlier when I started my
PQCDSM.
yes.
We say PQCDSM.
Yes, yes.
Exactly. So quality, cost, delivery, service. Now can you see that we have added morale, right? Because when the people who are working for an organization they are happy, only then they will be contributing. They will be coming up with brilliant ideas, and then the safety of the people is equally important because you can now see. Can you begin to see that lean is on one hand highly customer centered, and on the other hand it is equally strongly centered on the people within the organization. Can you see that this morale is of the people, this safety is of the people? Sampaji, Paras, can you see that?
Yes.
So we are not only, when we are working with lean, we are not only focused on customers, we are not only obsessed with customers and really counting the dollars. We realize deep within our hearts that the business success will happen only when everyone in my organization is happy, everyone in my organization is contributing, everyone in my organization is working in safe conditions, everyone in my organization is competent enough. That is why I train my people, I groom my people, I involve my people. Can you see that the dual focus of lean on customer and on our own people? And that is why, my dear friends, there is a concept of lifetime employment in Japan. Dr. Ono, who is supposed to be, who is considered to be the master, this really father of Toyota production system, who he used to say that in Toyota Motor Company, my people do not come to work. They come here to find ways how to do work better. Can you see the focus on people competency enhancement? Can you see the focus on involving and respecting people? I will give you one more example. Have you heard of this term Pokayoke?
Yes.
Yes. What is the meaning?
Mistake proof.
Mistake proof. I will tell you one story. When this concept was initiated, the consultant who brought this concept, he originally named it Pokayoke. The meaning was foolproofing. And he introduced this concept in the company. After 3 days, he went to the company and saw that everyone was highly demoralized. And he said, "Arey bhai, what has happened? I have given you such a beautiful tool which will really prevent mistakes from happening." And then those people said that, my dear sir, do you think that we are fools? You are looking at foolproofing? And then he immediately changed the word to Pokayoke. It is not foolproofing, it is mistake proofing. He said that my people are not fools, but anyone. Aditya, can you say anyone? Anyone can make mistakes, and therefore Pokayoke is mistake proofing and not fool proofing. That kind of respect for the people. So, my message, my dear friends, is that we are focused on customer to continually try and see what will make customer happy, what are the expectations of the customer in the changing circumstances, in the changing market scenario, with the changing offerings that the customer is having from the other competitors. And on the other hand, we are equally focused on our own people. We respect them, we groom them, we train them, we make them competent, and thereby we make a very successful organization. And that really ensures that we will be focusing on in these metrics: quality, cost, delivery, and service. Can you see, my dear friends, my cursor? All these four are customer centric in matrices. Yes or no? Quality, cost, once again, will reflect in the price or something. Delivery and service, morale and safety are more people centric matrices. And we are equally concerned about morale and safety of our people. So, we are now beginning to develop quite a good understanding of lean. So, lean is not only a set of tools. You not only get to know JIT or Kanban or Pokayoke or SMED or TPM or OEE. You also basically, this is a way of thinking which says that it is all about the success of the business, and sustaining of the success of the business is about creating needed value with fewer resources coming from the waste elimination. And obviously, of course, it is also a set of tools, and you will be exposed and trained into lot many sets of tools that I'll be teaching you. So it is not only, my dear friends, it is about set of tools. So it is both. It is way of thinking and a set of tools, and both go hand in hand. Both of them complement each other. So it is about achieving highest quality, lowest cost, and shortest lead time. Understand that all of you understand the meaning of this. What do we mean by highest quality? Meeting the customer expectation is the quality, right? What is the meaning of quality? Meeting the customer expectations is highest quality, and there is quite a detailed definition and understanding I wish all of you develop. So on the first level, quality is about understanding the wants and needs and expectations of the customer, and at the next level, the quality is about how to convert those into measurable specifications. And then at the manufacturing, quality means that you are meeting those measurable specifications. Yes or no? Shova, are you able to get the message of these two levels of quality visualization? On the first hand, suppose.
So please come again to the same point.
Yeah, I would like to. Thank you very much for really prompting us to dwell a little more on this. So, at the first level, quality is about understanding the customer expectations. I will give you an example. Suppose your son or your daughter, she wants to purchase a footwear. They come to you and you ask them, okay, my dear daughter, what kind of footwear you want? She will say, my dear father, I want a good footwear. She will not be able to explain what is the meaning of good fear. Good. You will ask further. Okay, my dear daughter, little girl, please tell me what do you mean by good footwear. She will say, Father, it must be no lightweight. It must be with bright colors. It must be of latest fashion. It must be really help me. It must last for, let us say, at least 2 years. Various characteristics now she is developing. Now, for that, you will then have to convert. What is the meaning of lightweight? Is it between 200 grams to 300 grams? Or is it between 800 grams to 900 grams? Yes or no? Specifications. And when those specifications are given to the manufacturing people, then their role is to be able to meet the deliver the product within specifications. To remember, you can visualize this in a context of an organization. In an organization, typically there is a marketing department and product development department, and there is manufacturing department. Yes or no? Sampath, Sakti, Parimala. So
Yes.
when we are talking of quality at the first level, our marketing people, our product development people, they must understand what the customer wants, what will make the customer happy. Yes, and then our marketing people and product designers must be able to convert those expectations into measurable specifications that we give to our manufacturing team. And then my manufacturing team, if they are delivering products or services in such a manner that they are meeting the specifications, for them that is the quality. Yes or no? So for what is the quality for marketing and product development people? Understanding the customer needs and converting them into specifications. Natarajanji, Sampath bhai, Varun. For marketing and product development people, what is the meaning of the quality? Understand the customer needs, wants, and expectations and convert them into specifications. And what is the meaning of quality for manufacturing people? Deliver within those specifications, right? Because manufacturing people are not going to market and finding out what does the customer wants. Aditya, can you see that? Yes. So it is about, sometimes you will say it is about meeting the customer expectations, sometimes you will say it is meeting the specifications. Yes, the difference is clear. Sometimes it is meeting the customer expectations, sometimes it is meeting the specifications, depending on which level of quality you are talking of. Then at the lowest cost, because if the cost goes less, then either you can offer the product at a much more competitive price, less price than your customer, less price than your competitor, or that can increase your profit margin. Also, lead time means how quick you are able to deliver. Lead time is the time lapsed between these two events, when a customer places an order and when a customer receives a delivery. I will ask you one question. Shakti, suppose you want to buy a book, right? That book is available on, let's say, both Amazon and Flipkart. The price is same, rupees 1600 on both the platforms. Amazon says I will deliver the very next day. Flipkart says I will deliver after 3 days. Which platform you are going to use?
Amazon only.
Yes, that platform which is delivering you with the short lead time. Short lead time. That is also a very critical aspect of your customer satisfaction criteria. Can you see that? All these three: highest quality, because you are able to identify what the customer wants and you are delivering that product or service. Lowest cost, because either you are offering your product at a highly competitive price or your profit margins are higher. And shortest lead time means that you are providing faster, earlier than your competitor. Paras, can you see that? And you see the gravity of these situations, these three words. there is the biggest success story of recent times of the past 4 or 5 years. The biggest success story is that of quick commerce. Can you see that? How many of you are using now Blinkit or Zepto? Have you heard of that? Blinkit,
Yes, sir.
Zepto? Yes, they are delivering.
Yeah.
You order and they deliver within 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Yes, and that has been the biggest success story in the recent past. The biggest success story of the recent past about the business ideas is this quick commerce, going from e-commerce to quick commerce. They are making millions and billions of rupees and dollars just by focusing on this concept of shortest lead time, because everyone is in a hurry nowadays. Nobody wants to wait. So those businesses become highly successful, which are providing your product at shortest lead time. So can you see these three very critically important aspects of business? They define your success rate: highest quality, lowest cost, and shortest lead time. Now let us have a quick look at the background and the history of how lean came into being and how it became popular.
One second.
Yes, please.
What we called of e-commerce to quick commerce is Zepto.
Yeah, Zepto, Blinkit.
What's it? Blinkit.
Blinkit, yes, Blinkit.
Okay.
And
Sir, shall we go for the previous slide to previous one?
this one, yeah,
Another one.
this one.
Yeah. The thinking about creating needed value, few resource of less water, no?
Yeah.
What does the actual mean that?
Yes, so lean is a way of thinking. This is exactly what I've been discussing. Sometimes I will just spend 2 minutes to answer your query. Sometimes people, without understanding that there is a big philosophy that makes lean highly successful, they just think that we will implement 5S, we will implement Kanban, we will implement TPM. They do not know that these become successful only when you are thinking lean. You are knowing that you must focus on customer as well as on your people. You must focus on the idea that you want to create highest value at the lowest cost. With that thought process is known as a way of thinking. So to elaborate this sentence, lean is a way of thinking. Way of thinking about what? About creating needed value with fewer resources. As simple as that. The one sentence definition that we learned is create value, do more, consume less. Yes or no? As I told you, lean is about doing more and more of what the customer wants while consuming less and less of resources. Doing more and more of what customer wants is creating needed value. Can you see that, Paras? Doing more and more of what customer wants is creating needed value, while consuming less and less is fewer resources and less waste.
Okay.
Right. So how fewer resources will come? If we are working with less waste, then only we'll be able to consume less resources. Yes or no? Perfect. So this became very popular in 1990s. I hope all of us are clear, and I was doing that silly mistake earlier when we started, and that was long back, 20-25 years ago. I used to think that lean is a abbreviation of something, LEAN, like USA, United States of America. It is an abbreviation, or UK, United Kingdom. But India is not an abbreviation. It is a complete word in itself. Yes or no? So lean is not, my dear friends, an abbreviation. Lean is not an abbreviation. It is a single word which says that you do not Suppose, can you see that I am a lean person? Yes. Lean means no fat, no waste, only muscle. So a lean organization doesn't has any unnecessary fat. You only have bones and muscles. That is what makes you lean. Nothing that is unnecessary. So lean as a word we must remember. And also please see that lean manufacturing, lean thinking, it is based on TPS, which is Toyota Production System. TPS, by the way, is an abbreviation Toyota Production System. Why Toyota Production System? It originated in Toyota Motor Company. All of you have seen Toyota cars, right? Fortuner is ruling the roads, right? Fortuner, Innova. Yes, Toyota is highly successful motor car company. They started this in early 50s and 60s, and they created a highly successful manufacturing management model which was very popular and known as TPS, Toyota Production System. Later Americans started to study how and why the Japanese motor car companies are highly successful. They learned these tools and then they re-adopted them, reincarnated them as lean management. So instead of calling them only production or manufacturing, we later realized that it is equally applicable to any type of business vertical, to service, to software development, to banking, to finance, to education, not necessarily limited only to manufacturing or production. Therefore, we call it lean thinking or lean management. Or if required, typically for if you are working for a manufacturing company, you can call it a lean manufacturing also. It derived most of its principles and philosophies from Toyota Production System, which is a system developed by the Toyota Automobile Company in Japan. So as I discussed, they developed originally in 1950s and 60s at Toyota Motor Corporation, and they were developed to respond to inefficiencies and waste of traditional mass production methods. Lean production was made up by Mr. John Krafik. All this is just to give you a brief history, not really critical for implementing. So he in 1998 wrote an article which says the title of the article was Triumph of Lean Production System. They were working on a MIT research group. They were working on why the Japanese motor cars are so very successful. So in 1998 this article came. What is the name of that article? Rajanji, can you read this out? The name of the article is
Triumph of the Lean Production System.
Yes, and then there came a book by Mr. James P. Womack in 1990, and the name of the book is The Machine That Changed the World, The Story of Lean Production, Toyota's Secret Weapon in Global Car Wars That Is Now Revolutionizing World Industry. This is the full name of the book, popularly known as The Machine That Changed the World, by Jim Womack. And then he instituted a institution, Lean Enterprise Institute, LEI. So this becomes the Bible of lean movement, the machine that changed the world. Now, how many of you were?
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Japanese only found out the lean. Before that, any
TPS.
Americans have been would have found out any like a lean system, because normally they're the powerful person, whatever they're landing the moon first, like that. Why not from the American side is not developed like this kind of production, like a lean? Before that,
Wonderful question.
Anything has happened?
Wonderful question. So I will tell you the answer, and that is also a very wonderful answer, but that will really consume some 5-7 minutes of your precious time. The idea is that really they were devastated, Japanese were devastated after the Second World War, right? In how the World War ended? Americans bombed Japanese cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the Japan was devastated. Then they were rebuilding their country. So American consultants, they went to Japan. Lot of them. They they made a group which was known as JUSU, Japanese Union for JUSE, you say Japanese Union of Scientists and Engineers, and they started to work on how to rebuild Japanese economy from scratch because everything was really grounded after this bombing of atom bomb. Now there are lot many good people, including Mr. Toyoda, right? The name of the company is Toyota, but the family that owns is Toyota. They were originally in a loom manufacturing business, so then they created their own automobile unit. Ford Motor Company at that point in time was a highly successful company. It is still it's Ford is one of the big four. Mr. Henry Ford with his Model T, and he also came up with a great idea which is known as line manufacturing system. So when I find some time I will explain. So he created this production line concept in automobile industry that came from Ford. They still have their own Ford manufacturing system, highly popular. So one of the family members from the Toyota family was sent to America to learn how Ford makes cars and to learn and then come back to this Japan and then implement those concepts. Now, incidentally, he went to see the Ford company and then he realized that they are into highly mass production. Whereas, because of a typical point in time, Japan was not having the need for that high volume mass production. The need of the hour for Japan was to be able to create highly flexible small lot manufacturing operations, right? And then the story goes like that instead of visiting the Ford factory he went to a supermarket. In the supermarket he made a very interesting observation that in the supermarkets, now all of us are very much familiar with the supermarkets, right? We can go to the big bazaar or all these malls. They have very well stocked shelves. They are never overflowing with any goods, yes or no? And there are never stock out situations. You will find bread and butter and milk and clothes every time. So then he observed that instead of really making that observation at the Ford Motor Factory, he made this observation at one of the supermarkets that why these supermarkets are able to provide everything that the customer wants every time the customer wants, and there came the idea of JIT, just in time production. So if you've been to a supermarket recently, you will realize that as soon as you pick up the bottle of, let us say, a packaged milk from the rack of the supermarket, it will move forward, right? And then after a signal will be triggered to the people who are managing the supermarket that there is a need to replenish. So they are providing just in time. The concept of JIT is, what is the full form of JIT? Just in time. Providing only what the customer wants, exactly when the customer wants, in exact quantities that the customer wants. So that is one of the pillars of, can you see your screen, my screen right now? This, my dear friends, is one of the pillars.
Your voice is very low.
This is one of the pillars, just in time. Can you see that? And the another pillar is Jidoka. This another pillar is Jidoka. This pillar is, now is my voice okay now? Yes, please show me a thumbs up.
Yes, sir.
The second pillar is Jidoka, which is called built-in quality. What is the meaning of built-in quality? Built-in quality, and there is also very interesting story about Paras. You would like to hear that? And that is also coming from the Toyota family only. They were very poor. They used to have a woodworking workshop, and they were so very poor that the lady of the house, she used to really work on a manual loom after completing her daily household work. His son, he was very attached, affectionate for his mother. So while working in the woodworking workshop with his father, he created a automatic woodworking loom for his mother and gifted that automatic loom to his mother. But very soon they realized that there was a big problem. What was the problem? That earlier, when the lady was making clothes on that manual loom, as soon as something went wrong, she was able to detect, and defective products were not produced. But when the son gifted the automatic loom, the very first model, to his mother, then since it was automatic and there was no provision that if the thread breaks or there is something wrong with the working, the machine was not able to detect and defective products were produced. And then there was a idea that came to him that I must make this machine competent to detect and stop. I must make this machine competent to detect abnormality on its own and stop, thereby preventing any possibility of creating a defective product. Now we do not realize the beauty and gravity of this idea because we are seen that all the machines are so very smart. We are living in the age of AI and chat GPT and all, and we are living in the age of Internet of Things. But at that point in time, in 1930, that was about 100 years ago from today, he realized that the machines must be able to themselves detect abnormality and stop and call the operator, and they shall not start until unless that abnormality is corrected, which is called built-in quality concept. Can you see that? That is the pillar of Jidoka. That any abnormality will not be able to move further. So, with these two very interesting stories, both of them I've just recited you. One created them the idea of working with just in time, so many tools, continuous flow, takt time, pull system, and all. Then Jidoka. Can you see my
Sir,
cursor here? Stop.
sir,
Yes, please.
sir, whatever the lean, getting a very familiar, and then we are talking about now also. But the base is from the Ford only, no? It's our origin point of for the lean is from Ford, or they themselves have been created.
Yes and no. Why yes? Because this is also working on a line system, line manufacturing system, production line system. Yes or no? That idea came from the Ford people. But all the rest, this concept of JIT, this concept of Jidoka, and these concepts of SMED, these concepts of TPM, these concepts of Kanban, these concepts of 5S, all these are coming from Toyota production system. Only that part that a manufacturing happening on a production line is coming from Ford. Yes, and all these tools you can see in here. So all these tools for this JIT, the tool of flow, Hejun card, takt time, pull system, Kanban cards, visual order as known in 5S, robust processes, involvement of people, all these are from the toolkit of TPS. Can you see the heading of this slide here? These are part of your TPS toolkit. Based on this, now what is the distinction? Is that clear, Paraji? Yes. Now there is some slight distinction between TPS and lean. Very fine. But since we are going to be very senior consultants, lean champions, we must know that distinction also. The distinction is TPS is typically about company wide continual improvements. Can you hear my words? Company wide continual improvements, not focusing on any specific problem that. Yes, Vignesh, you want to add something?
Sir,
Yes.
can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, 100%.
Sir, everywhere is TPS. Everyone is now. But I have a thought on this topic. I need some doubt. This Toyota production system, Toyota company which related and this industries which will be production system will be closed means Toyota production system and methodology related tools. Who own the copyrights or TPS? If in case Toyota company and relatable manufacturing companies are totally closed or dismantled, it means what about the TPS?
A wonderful question. And the good thing is that Toyota themselves were very large-hearted people. They are not. They could have, but they are not copyrighted it. They teach everyone. Even now, they invite people to come and learn from them. Right? So this is not a copyrighted thing by. And you are right. They could have copyrighted it, but they have not. And they really go and train people and they invite everyone because they want that is for the larger benefit of the whole humankind. They want to have everyone to be good at this. So nobody has got a copyright on these tools. Yes, and that is why it was later adopted as lean. Does it answer your question, Vignesh? And wonderful observation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And more one thing.
Yeah.
This is the Toyota production system. If applicable to, if any possible to Hyundai production system will be used in our line production.
Yeah, 100%. And I will go a little further from this also. Not only it is limited to manufacturing only, it is applicable to any type of business. People are talking of finance, insurance, banking, education, e-commerce, hotels, hospitals, aircraft industry, military, submarine development.
So one more question here. Yeah. Please go to Vignesh.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Other industries, okay, sir. Toyota competitive, Hyundai Toyota is the competitor. That time I will that.
You see, and that gives me the really opportunity to tell you that although all these are based on Toyota Production Company, and just as you very correctly identified and brought to the table that let us say why Hyundai would like to say that I follow Toyota Production System, they will not like to say. That is why it is now named as lean. Yes, can you see that? If you are Hyundai, you will not like to say that I am Hyundai but I follow Toyota Production System. That is why it was reincarnated as lean. So, in spite of being Hyundai, you can say that yes, I am Hyundai and I am Honda, but I follow lean. You can do that. So the other car companies were not very happy saying that we follow Toyota Production System. So that is why this name lean come. Yes, Paras.
Sir, when you talk about the Japanese technology or system, everyone follows, right? And when you come to the China never accept of the Japanese idea because he is the brand leader of everything. We can't say one particular point. So the ruling the whole world is by China now. So everyone believes, everyone listen. When that is the best way of the Toyota system, but they are also in a very good lean system. So why can't that things are not coming out? Only we are talking about lean. Japanese have brought it off. Now China has gone somewhere else, the different level. So normally when the Chinese comes and visit the factory, if you say lean, they never show of interest. They will say, if that is running with the lean, what efficiency you are running? I am Chinese, I am running with this more than efficiency. So that is the tricky things of both of them. Is the brand ruling the person now? Why that thing is not coming out? Because they are also using so many technologies, so many systems in the place instead of like a Japanese system.
Very correct. A wonderful question. And I would like to really answer this on two distinct points. One is that they are very not really, the Chinese are not very open to disclose what their ways of working are. They are quite close as against. So Japanese have always been very open, and there have been no shouting over the from over the rooftops. This is how we do. So what the China is doing is not really available to rest of the world, what tools and technologies they are using. But yes, they are very highly focused on technological development, right? And they are very keen on identifying very some quick ways, and I will explain when we go to the really next in today's session itself, go to the 8 ways what they had done initially. What made them such a big success is that out of the 8 wastes, and when we go there we will identify one of the wastes is over processing. Over processing means doing more than what will just meet the purpose, right? So suppose you want to make a box. I will give you 2 examples. If you want to make a box, and a 1 mm thick sheet of a box will suffice the purpose. What the Japanese will do, they will make sure the Chinese, they will make sure that they do not over process. They just make that 1 mm sheet. What the Germans will do, they will make 1.3 mm sheet, doing more than what will suffice the purpose. Can you see that in every Diwali we purchase Chinese lights? They run only for one season. Yes or no? You go and purchase Indian manufactured lights, he will claim very proudly, sir, this will last for 10 years. But that never doesn't happen, because in our houses we do not really keep them in such preserved conditions, typically today's generation, that they will be used for next. So the typical need is that decorative light for Diwali shall last for one season only. Yes or no? So making it so sturdy that it will last for 10 years is not really going to solve the purpose. That is how they started coming up with very cheap products initially. Can you see that? How this Japanese, this Chinese manufacturing took over the world. They started coming with very cheap, low cost products, which were not very long lasting. And that is how, in the first place, they invaded the whole marketplace. Second, I've been to China and I've been to Japan, both the countries I've seen and I observed very minutely. Some 20 years ago, they were working under a very dictatorial way of working. Yes, so people were really made to work like slaves throughout China. Now things have changed. I've been there recently also. Now things have changed. They are much more prosperous. They are working on much better conditions. But when they started really taking over the world in terms of manufacturing, they were doing 2 things. They were making very low cost products. They were just barely meeting the specifications and requirements, low cost products, and making their people work like really, I do not have the correct words, but making them work in very tough and difficult situations. Then they realized that the success will not only lie in finding quick solutions, but also in investing very heavily into high technology. So, and if some of you are connected with me on LinkedIn, and please do, if you are not, I will share my LinkedIn profile. I am just writing a series of write ups on dark factories. Anyone heard of dark factories? Heard of this word?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Dark.
Recently, China implemented
Yes.
with the
China,
robots, with
So,
robots.
yes, so the complete factories, one of the factories Xiaomi, they are producing one is handphone every second, one handset every second, and that factory doesn't has even a single human. 100% automatic internet of things operated, double IoT, fully robotic. They do not even need lights. Can you see? So there
What
is
kind
a
of manufacturers going in the dark factories in China?
Mobiles.
Okay.
mobiles and cars. Yes, Tesla, Japan is also working on a dark factory concept. The most
Okay.
sophisticated products that we
How
use, the
they will do
automobiles,
the preventive maintenance
there are ways, sir.
in those?
I will explain later, maybe. Maybe I will explain. But there is a lot of constituent parts of the China success story. One is that they started with focusing on one single aspect, that there shall not be over processing. They just meet, and thereby they were able to create highly competitive products that penetrate the market. They were not long lasting. There was not no guarantee some 20 years ago, but they captured the whole market. Then they made their people work very hard under dictatorial conditions. Then they invested very heavily on technology. So you are talking of dark factories. You have heard of, let's say, DeepSeek. I am working with both DeepSeek and ChatGPT, and I can vouch that this is giving me much more better answers than ChatGPT is. Although both of them are top notch. Anyone using ChatGPT or DeepSeek?
ChatGPT.
Use ChatGPT.
Try DeepSeek also, and you can compare. So you see that kind of focus on technological developments, because the future is in technology. And for that matter, Tesla has got factories in China. Can you see that? Because the labor cost is less, the with the automation, the precision is more, so many things, so they are able to provide. Then there was a lot of working, I've been there. So there are a lot of special economic zones, clusters, where the anyone from Delhi here, or Gurgaon or NCR? No.
No.
Okay, so you see there is a complete Maruti industrial area in Delhi. Why Maruti industrial area? Everything that goes into making a Maruti car, everything is produced in that Maruti industrial area, a big cluster. So the spokes are not coming from Bangalore or Hyderabad or Jaipur, they are being produced in very nearby facility. Similarly, they came up with this particularly great idea of creating clusters for industry. And then some socio-economic factors are also there involved.
Hyundai in Chennai is already like that, and a Yamaha factory in Oragadam is also in the same way.
Right, exactly. And they are so very, kind of closed economy also, so they do not really tell people. But their focus has always been on finding high volume at low cost. That is their really uh, guru mantra. Yes, high volume. So you go and try to really, and I've been doing business with China for past 20 years now. I import things, and you cannot really offer purchase anything lesser than a complete shipment, complete container load. You cannot buy anything from China. So high volume, low cost, resulting into economies of scale, and that is how they captured the market. So, but right now that is a much more socio-economic, political, technological discussion. So right now we'll try and understand and learn what the Japanese taught us, and that is also highly, highly successful. And to demonstrate that how successful that is, you see, India got independence in 1947. Around the same time, Japan was bombed, and when in the early 1950s, 1948, let us say for particular, per capita income in Japan and India was the same. Listen to me very, very carefully. Per capita income 1948 was same in Japan and India. And right now, today, Japan's per capita income is 40 times. Can you see that? 40 times. If that was to happen, all of us would be 40 times richer. Can you see that? That demonstrates the success of Japanese way of working. Okay, so now talking about this small, fine difference between Paras, does it answers your question to some extent?
Yes, sir.
Although
Yes, sir.
this
Yes,
will
sir. Yes, sir.
also this will require a lot more detailed discussion. But I really invite all of you to get connected with us on LinkedIn. So I keep posting. Dr. GSK V Raghavan sir, he is also very active on LinkedIn. So we can share a lot of insights into this, and this is a very interesting question, and that we will as a consultant at times will be required to answer, that how and why nobody is talking of Chinese manufacturing systems while the China is ruling the manufacturing sector. So obviously this is a very very valid question, and we must find correct answers to that. I have attempted to give an answer, but I'm not very sure that this tells the full story. Anyways, coming back to TPS and lean. So one very interesting point, that why we started calling this lean is that no other company, especially automobile company, would like to say that we follow Toyota production system. Therefore, there was a need of some other generalistic type of name, that is lean. Secondly, and more importantly, is that this TPS, as we have been discussing, is more about company wide improvements. Improvements happening everywhere, every day, by everyone. No specific single focus for improvement. Whereas, as you have seen in Six Sigma, how many of you are from Six Sigma background? Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So we identify a particular problem in Six Sigma methodology. What we do, we define a particular problem, and then we look at the possible root causes and possible solutions and all. So in Six Sigma approach, we are typically looking at solving a particular highly focused problem. The same approach is there also in lean, as different from TPS. Right? Here also lean states slightly in a more focused manner that there is a specific focus on solving a particular problem, and this way this invites more specific and concrete action. Right? So people who are old enough like me, they realize that when this all movements started, we were talking of TQM, right? So by the way, my mail ID is vivek_tqm@yahoo.com. So that way we were CWQC or TPM, total productive maintenance. That is about whole company. And our lean is, in addition to doing those tools across whole company, we are also working on some specific problem solving. So this is a similar depiction. This is known as house of lean. This, my dear friends, is house of TPS. Can you see that? Foundation for stability, one pillar for productivity known as just in time, one pillar for quality known as JIDOKA, with the objective of highest quality, lowest cost, and shortest lead time. And this, my dear friends, is house of lean. Apparently similar, but the message is very different. It is also looking somewhat like the house, but can you see what is the first pillar talking of? It is talking of, Paras, Natarajan, first pillar is talking of process improvement, and the second pillar is talking of capability development. Capability of people. Can you see that? Can you read this out, Paras? What is the description of capability development?
The sustainable improvement capability in all people
At
all
all
levels.
levels. Can you see? So this is about capability development of people, and this is about process improvement, continuous real practical changes to improve the day the work is done. And the foundation is about the basic thinking, mindset and assumptions. And then this is a situational approach, that is a value driven purpose, that what exactly is the problem that we are trying to solve. Now, are you people okay for another 15 minutes? Although I was supposed to close it at 8:15, but I think we must continue for another 15 minutes, and then we will go for a break. Is that okay? Show me a thumbs up. Perfect. So now let us see 3M. You have been exposed to the concept of value adding and non value adding activities yesterday, and today, and since the very beginning of the session, I am talking of the waste elimination. But my dear friends, the point is that waste is only one of the three wasteful activities known as 3M. Three words, all three from Japanese language, all three starting with alphabet M. They are called Muda, Mura, and Mori. Can somebody say that for me? Paras, what are the 3M words?
Yeah, Muda, Mura, Muri.
Yes. And what is the meaning of Muda?
Muda means wastefulness.
Yes.
It comes under the 8 waste or what, sir?
Yeah. When we explored, when we discuss what are the wastes, what are the 8 Muda, that is what 8 wastes is, right? Mura means unevenness, non-uniformity, irregularity.
So where you connect this actually unevenness in the line formation of that is irregular of timing setup, unevenness.
Yes, in terms of line timelines also, in terms of machine loading also, in terms of person loading also. Many ways, unevenness. I will take one example. Suppose
skill gap is also Mura.
Yes, that will come as one of the Muda. I will explain.
The skill is coming under Moda,
Yes.
right?
And then there is Muri, means overburden, right? Beyond one's power. So can you see these three words? One is Muda, that is waste. You are not utilizing the capacity. Mura is unevenness. You work so very hard on Mondays and Tuesdays that you do not work on Thursdays and Fridays. Or one machine is very heavily loaded, another machine is not heavily loaded, right? Every task is being given to Paras and no task is given to Natarajan. Another way of that happens in the companies, right? Yes or no?
Because companies will happen. Who works very well, they'll keep putting the burden. That comes under the third M.
Yes. So that is leading to both.
HR and finance are less loaded than production and maintenance.
Yes, we can say. So as you can see, and very correctly you have pointed out, this one leads to another. Can you see? They are related. So just as Paras has very correctly mentioned that if someone who is good, he will be given. Suppose Paras is good, right? So I, as a manager, I will give more and more tasks to Paras. And let us say Natarajan, he doesn't really does any, just not meaning it literally, just for the sake of role play. Let us say Natarajan doesn't do anything, so I will give every task to Paras, and that will overburden Paras. So this will result in two types of wasteful activities. One is unevenness, and another overburden of the person whom I am overloading. So let us take an example.
Just 1 second, sir. In the previous slide, you are talking about the Muda is wastefulness, right? And for Mura means they've been last word the existence of 7 waste. What about the 8 waste we are talking about? They're talking about 7 waste.
I will explain. So initially when they started, they used to call it 7 waste. Okay. Very soon we realized that we must be adding we have forgotten the biggest waste, which is waste of non-utilization of the skills of our own people. That is the biggest waste. And then it was reintroduced as 8th waste. 8 Now we call it 8 waste, and which is the 8th waste, which is the biggest of them all? Non-utilization of skill. Can you see that what is making our interaction so very useful for all of us? Please tell me. All of you are interacting. All of you are participating. Right? Parimal has given us the definition. Doing more with consuming less. So, what I am doing? I am utilizing skills of all my people. Yes or no? If this was a one-sided monologue, we will not be utilizing the knowledge and competence and exposure of, let's say, Aditya, Sampath, Parimala, Shakti, Paras, Natarajan, Prasanna. Yes or no? So that is why we have now moved from 7 wastes to 8 wastes. Now let us take an example. So this is clear to everyone. Muda, Mura and Muri. Mura is
Yes.
waste, not utilizing the capacity. Mura is unevenness. Muri is overburden. Now let us play a game. Quick game. Suppose I have got this task. I have got these 6 bundles of 1 ton each. Parimala, I hope you will help me in solving this puzzle. Okay. So I have got this task. I have got 6 packets of 1 ton each, and they are to be. And I have got 1 truck, and the capacity of the truck is 2 tons. Can you see? What? Yes, 3 tons. The capacity of the truck is 3 tons. So, if I do like this, is this all right?
Yes.
No.
No.
Not using its capacity.
Not using its capacity. So it is what is happening? Muda. So instead of utilizing the full capacity of 3 tons, I am utilizing only 2 tons. So this is a waste happening. What is the waste happening?
Underutilization.
Underutilization or muda. Muda. Okay, is this all right?
Overburden.
No.
Overburden. Perfect.
Overburden.
Overburden. Okay, is this all right?
No. Unevenness.
And
Unevenness.
and
Pura and Muda.
all 3. Can you see that? Here
Muda.
is Muda, Aditya. Here is Muri. And when you look at both these, this is uneven. Yes, all the 3. So one leads to another. Everyone care about this? In this slide, all the 3 types of wasteful activities are happening. Mura is happening because there is unevenness, fluctuation, variation. Yes or no? Show me a thumbs up.
Yes.
And now can you see all 3 are happening here? Muda, Mura and Muri. Okay, so what if I do like this?
Balanced.
Yes, no wasteful activity. Can you see that? So this gives us a very clear understanding that whenever we want to find opportunities for improvement, we must see what is happening in process. Is there any muda? And by the way, I very sincerely believe that muda typically is known as waste, but a more better word is uselessness. Can you see? Any activity that is not really adding any value shall be called as useless. So I typically call muda as uselessness instead of calling it a waste. But if the message is clear, the work is done, no problem. Okay, so you are happy with this?
Yes.
This arrangement? Okay, perfect. So no Muri, no Mura, no Muda. Okay, perfect. No. So lean is not just limited to manufacturing. These concepts are applicable everywhere. Concept to launch, order to delivery, raw material to final products. And these, my dear friends, were for us original 7 wastes. Original 7 waste when we started talking about the waste, and what I call them, prefer to call them 7 Buddha is 7 useless. Okay, so can you see 7 icons here?
Tim Wood.
Tim Wood. Okay, now 8. Yes, what I have added?
Downtime.
Yes,
Downtime.
right. So there are various popular acronyms that really help you remember. So one is downtime, one is Tim Woods. So this, by the way, is downtime. Yes, why downtime? D O W N T I M E. Yes, clear everyone? Defects, overproduction, waiting, unused talent, transportation, inventory, motion, and extra processing or over processing. Tim Woods, another way of remembering all 8. Transportation, let us try and see. Transportation, inventory, motion, waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, defects, and non-utilization of skills. Can you see that is so impactful words? China, they are working only on, they used to initially working only on prevention of overprocessing, and they become the manufacturing king of the whole world. The whole Six Sigma methodology is focused on reduction of defects. Can you see? Now, let me check what have you understood. So, transportation is, let us really, who will read this out? Sampatji, what is the meaning of transportation waste?
I couldn't see it properly.
Okay, unnecessarily moving things. Okay, transportation, unnecessary transportation of goods. Inventory is, the waste of inventory is making more than what customer demands. This is whole about JIT, just in time. Yes, then motion is unnecessary movement of people. Waiting is delay between operations. Overproduction is making more than or earlier than when the customer wants. Overprocessing is doing more than what will suffice. Defects, all of us are aware, not meeting the specifications or not meeting the customer expectations. And skills means non-utilization of skills of your people. What is the waste happening here? This person is transportation. Waste of transportation is happening here. Let me check. What waste is happening here?
Inventory.
Inventory. What waste is happening here in this? Motion. Unnecessary. The person is bending down, getting up, bending down, getting up. Motion. This is what is happening here. Another motion. Motion. He is picking up, looking there, then there. Unnecessary movement of human body parts. Right? Is that clear to all of us? Parimala? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Motion. So there is a difference between the waste of motion and the waste of transportation. Waste of motion is when you are unnecessarily moving your own body parts. That is waste of motion. Paras, Sivamani, Shakti. And transportation is when you are unnecessarily moving your goods from here to there. Right? And this will require a lot of reworking on the layouts and all. What is the waste happening here? Waiting. What is the waste happening here? Overproduction. Yes? Minimum, maximum level. What is the waste happening here? Overproduction. What is the waste happening here? This is typically, this person is telling first, and this typically happens. You have uploaded the PO in the ERP, then that is been, then you give a printout also, then you send a mail also, then you give a phone call also. send it on a WhatsApp also, walk up to that one. So why this over processing happens? One of the examples of over processing I gave you about that sheet metal box. Yes, when a 1 mm sheet
Yes.
box will work, you are unnecessarily working with
Adding
1.3
of
mm,
0.2.
adding 0.2. Similarly, another example, when you have just really uploaded that purchase order in the ERP, there shall not be any need of really making a phone call and taking a screenshot and emailing it and all. Yes or no? But since we are not really confident or we are used to our old day we are working, then what we do, in addition to uploading it on the ERP, we also mail it, then we also WhatsApp it, then we also make a phone call. All these three are unnecessarily overdoing. Yes or no? Then defects. I told you, whenever you are manufacturing or when you are providing services, whenever you are not meeting customer specifications, that is a defect. Not meeting a customer expectation is a defect, and we must be able to detect that. Right. And this is again non-utilization of the skills of our own people. And this, why this happens? Typically, we do not respect our people. Can you see that? We think that we are very super intelligent people, and my operators or my quality checkers or my designers, they do not know anything. We do not respect our own people, and we do not train them. We do not seek advice and guidance from them. Right? So, for making use, for eliminating this particular waste, what we shall do, we must first start respecting our own people, and then we must be making effort to groom them. We must train them on what is 5S. We must train them on what are 7QC tools. We must train them what is 3M. We must train them on what are 8QC tools. Yes or no? Then our people will become problem solvers. And please confirm that what do you think, if everyone in our company becomes a problem solver, will that company will be a super successful or not? When everyone in my company becomes a problem solver, my company will be a super successful company. Perfect. Okay, so now let us see, and this is also one more example of over processing. This, let's say, rinse. You do not need to create a velvet layered box for keeping this. Just to put my point across that over processing can happen at every level. Now this is the last slide I would like. Now please identify, and after that we can go for a short break. What are the wastes? And you see, the very purpose of being a lean expert is that you shall be able to see waste. We must we must learn to see. Can you identify, my dear team, what are the wastes happening here?
Person
Yes.
Waiting, transportation.
Yes.
Uneveness.
Yes. Very correct.
No identification. No identification.
Yes, you can see. So unnecessary movement is happening. Yes. Then unnecessary motion is happening. Overproduction is happening. More inventory is there. This person is now over processing, right? Because there could have been, just as one of you mentioned, there could have been marking, and there shall not be any need of someone to continually tell, okay, keep them there, etc., etc., etc. Yes or no? Overproduction, over processing, everything is happening here. So with that, I would like to conclude today's session. We will go for a short break and we are open for any discussion. Hope, my dear friends, I want some of the people who are not on camera, please come on camera so that we can conclude today's session. Just give me a feedback, and before you people give me a feedback, I must give a big thank you to all of you for making this such a lively, interactive session. Special thanks to Parasji, Natarajanji,
Thank you, sir.
Parimala,
Thank you. Thank you.
Mani, Aditya, Sampath. So you made it so very interactive and useful for all of us. Thank you very much. And just if you are happy, show me a thumbs up. And if you are not, you can show me a thumbs down. So so see you tomorrow. We can go for a short break. So it is
Sir, your LinkedIn.
Okay, I will share tomorrow. No problem. Next
week.
session. Yeah, and you can search Vivek Kumar Vision Excellence. So I want you to be connected with myself, Dr. GSK, and Veer Raghavan sir, RK sir.
I'm following, sir. I'm following.
Okay, excellent. So we are there. So that will. Okay, my dear friend. Thank you very much. It is 10 minutes to 9. Okay, so can we meet at 9 once again? Is that okay? 10 minutes break shall be fine. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I will stop sharing. I will stop recording now. Pause. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.